Listen closely, class. Today we are diving into the fascinating societal shifts of the late 19th century, a period that reshaped the very fabric of the Western world. First, let's talk about the rise of the middle class. Imagine a time when suddenly a new group emerged from between the aristocracy and the working poor. This growing middle class embraced consumerism and strict social etiquette. Having the right furniture, clothes, and servants became emblems of respectability. But beneath this veneer of propriety, all was not well. Women, in particular, faced immense challenges. Expected to embody domestic perfection, most were denied basic rights and opportunities. But thanks to the Industrial Revolution and the rise of the middle class, many women found themselves with a bit more free time on their hands. Their husbands were off making that dough, and new gadgets like sewing machines made housework easier. These ladies had some hours to kill. But there was a catch. They were largely barred from the political sphere. So they started tackling issues that hit them close to home, literally. They were like, my husband's spending more time at the bar and then coming home and making trouble for me and the kids. Maybe we should do something about it. And thus, the temperance movement was born. It was like a nationwide intervention for alcohol abuse. And as they got more involved, these women started to realize something. They were pretty darn good at this whole making a difference thing. And that's when the light bulb went off. If they could make such a big impact without political power, imagine what they could do with it. And thus, pioneering activists like Emmeline Pankhurst in England fought tirelessly for women's suffrage, sowing seeds of change that would transform society in the decades to come. Meanwhile, the groundbreaking theories of Charles Darwin sent shockwaves through the intellectual world. His concept of evolution by natural selection challenged long held beliefs about the origins of life. Tragically, some thinkers twisted Darwin's ideas into the disturbing ideology of social Darwinism, which asserted that certain groups were inherently superior to others. This thinking would fuel racism, imperialism, and eventually genocide. Amidst this upheaval, the artists underwent a metamorphosis. For artists, the industrial world was bleak. They yearned for something more, for beauty, emotion, and a connection to nature that had been lost in the changing gears of progress. Enter Romanticism, the artistic equivalent of a dreamy escape to a cottage in the countryside. Painters like Turner and Constable turned their backs on the grimy realities of industrial life, instead depicting serene landscapes that soothed the soul. The Romantics believed in the power of passion, emotion, and individual heroism to transform the world. Take, for example, the iconic romantic poem Ode to the West Wind by Percy Bysshe Shelley. In this masterpiece, Shelley portrays the wind as a wild, untamable force, a symbol of the raw power of nature and the human spirit. He writes, "Drive my dead thoughts over the universe like withered leaves to quicken a new birth. And by the incantation of this verse, scatter as from an unextinguished hearth ashes and sparks, my words among mankind. But through my lips to unawakened earth the trumpet of a prophecy. O wind, if winter comes, can spring be far behind?" Here Shelley is calling upon the wind to sweep away the stagnant, lifeless ideas of the past and to inspire a revolution of the soul. It's a passionate cry for change, a declaration that the individual spirit has the power to reshape reality. Now, the advent of photography and cinema also pushed painters to reimagine their craft. No longer bound by realism, movements like Impressionism and Post Impressionism emerged, characterized by bold colors, visible brushstrokes, and subjective interpretations of the world. Artists like Monet and Van Gogh pioneered styles that would redefine visual art for generations. In essence, the late 1800s were a crucible of change, a period when long-standing hierarchies were challenged, worldwide views shifted, and artistic conventions were shattered. Understanding this pivotal era is essential to grasping the complex tapestry of our own modern world. Thanks so much for joining us.